Hey, everybody. Hang on a second. Let me make sure everything's as it should be here. Hi. Ho, ho, ho. I didn't even start this and somebody thumbed. I barely started it and somebody thumbs it down. It's like somebody lives to thumbs me down. Like, I mean, the moment my videos come out, I think it's hilarious. How's it going, everybody? Let me say hi to everybody. Ann Lewis, Seashell, Carol McKinney, Jean Phillips, Joanne Anderson, Joe Mama, Julie Aston, Lori, Mwah, Mackenzie, Terry Walsh, Terry White, Simwa, Kim Solomon. Oh no, it's starting to jump. Raf, how's everybody doing? Mwah, mwah, mwah to you all. All right, let me pop out my chat here. And let me make sure it's on live chat. All right. Yarn! Hey, Paula. I keep forgetting. I keep calling you Angel Waiting, and it's Angel in Waiting, but it's Paula, right? Did I remember it right? Hello, Annette. Billy Buckland, Freckleface, Jessica Pierce, Carol McKinney, Yarn Prepper. It is Paula. Great. Christine. How's everybody doing? If I like the little mini tree I made, the picture doesn't do it justice. It's bloody adorable. It really is. And hey, Facey and Pamela Nelson. Oh, the moringa. I get this, and it's Eco certified, non-GMO, gluten-free. And it's made with the roots, the leaves, and the stems. It's made with all parts of the moringa plant. So, thank you, Rennie. And Howie mailed your card this morning. Oh, praise be, because it's been sitting on the table for days. And he goes, didn't I mail that? I said, no. So Hubs is in so much pain. Try the moringa. And I just took mine, actually. I don't like it. I don't see a miraculous change, but the change is big enough that I'm noticing it. Tinker Bouncing, thanks for the well wish you gave to me from the car accident. When was that? I haven't noticed any difference with moringa. I've been on it for about 3 months now, and I'm moving better. I'm sleeping better. I'm perkier. Now, could be the season. It could be the herb. But whatever it's doing, I'm happy with it. And I'm going to continue to take my moringa. And I haven't had any nighttime cramps since I started taking calcium magnesium with D3. Hey, Doris, how's it going? Bev, on December 29th on PBS, they are doing a special on Laura Ingalls Wilder. Wow, I can't wait to see that. I'll have to look for it. Sunday night, a car totaled our truck in my driveway. That's right. That's right. That's bloody in your driveway. That's insulting. Love the headband. My daughter's looking for one for me. I got it at Giant Tiger, but I bet you we can make one. Why don't I do that? I'm going shopping on Friday. I paid $8 for this. Now I'm going shopping with Briar on Friday, and I bet you, I bet you, I'm gonna get some headbands and see what we can make with them ourselves, right? Maybe it's the homegrown. Hey, CFF, how are you, darling? Wilder, not wild. Hi, Sue Bass. How's it going? So nobody was hurt though, right? It was like in your driveway, or were you in the vehicle when you got hit in your driveway? Yeah. Well, I have another video coming out. What's today? Wednesday? On Friday, because I didn't want to do 2 craft videos in a row. But I'm making something I've made 2 videos today. So one on how to make your homemade sweetened condensed milk with evaporated milk and sugar and powdered milk. And another treat I'm making for my son. Furby, how are you, darling? Bama Missy White, how are you, darling? And Sandy Candy. Oh, I'm Sydney. Hi, sweetheart. How are you, darling? I'm glad you could make it. Yeah, are you getting snow down there in Elmer? We've been getting it since it's been really light and off and on, but we're getting the really fine snow. So, and my husband took my truck to work today, and Merry Christmas to me. I bought myself a brand new set of snow tires. They're being put on today, and my island is coming up. My island top is in the garage. We're just waiting to get, Howie's got to get another piece of plywood, and then he's going to put my island together this weekend. The stainless on my island. So yes, that will be a video also. If I don't slow down, I'm going to have to do 2 videos a day. But believe it or not, I'm going to do as many videos ahead as I can. Being so busy, yes, Melty here. Steven! Hey, did you get my question? I love your Christmas tree, but I need to know, are you superstitious, Steven? Can't bake yet. Oven's still not working. Oh, that's awful. Can you get a toaster oven at the secondhand store or something? Like for like small batches of cookies and things? Stephen has come on. It's break time. So, okay. You're not superstitious. All right. Okay, but you believe in ghosts and stuff, right? Already know. Oh, Carol McKinney, can't bake yet. Oh, okay, you got a small one. Okay, that's good. Yes, it's break time. I need a Christmas fabric fan. Maybe I should just make one. Maybe I should just strip this fabric off here and make a new one. Beth, my darling, how are you? I'm thinking of going to Germany in January or February. I need some good days of snow. Oh, wouldn't that be lovely? But I'm getting it. It's just a really light covering right now. But Briar phoned me today and he goes, are we going shopping on Friday? Wait a minute. Mom, do you got new snow tires? Or when are you getting snow tires? I don't want to go shopping with you if you don't have snow. I said, Briar, I bought myself a Christmas present. See, my last set of snow tires were secondhand on the rims. I paid $400 for them. I just shelled out $800 for a brand new set of Quebec rated snow tires. Yeah, I may not go far, but hey, we're going to get Nan, right? I posted on Heart's Facebook page for where to send you a gift. Special fan coming your way. Oh, thank you, Paula. Paint it and add Christmas stickers. I don't know, man. I don't know. I really like this fan. Doing good. We'll be baking soon and doing laundry. Well, like I said, I've got a couple of videos coming up, and then I've got to start my baking videos. But we're not doing shortbread, and we're not doing, or we're at least going to hold the snowballs for when Nan comes, and maybe even the scones, because Nan loves her cranberry scones. But I've got to get some cranberries. I should be making a grocery list right now. Hey, Brigitte, how's it going? Thank you, Stephen. I think it's quite saucy. I like to, every once in a while I get excited and go, ooh, and I flip my lid. Bev, you're getting a black fan with purple sequins. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to get it. Well, Granny Frammy, here in Quebec, you cannot go through the winter with all season radials or all weather tires. They have to be mountain snow rated tires. It's just the way it is in Quebec. If you get into an accident and you're not using Quebec rated snow tires, you can be denied insurance coverage. You know what I mean? So you don't mess around with that. I don't mess around. Hey, Angel, how are you? You can always make a slip cover for your fan. No, no, it would mess with the way it folds and unfolds. Speaking of which, I'm hi, Avonlea Ann. How's it going? I almost sent you a Christmas card to your old PO box. Didn't you send me an email asking for my address? Make a huge difference, Raf. Absolutely. Absolutely. Vincent Pellegrino, how's it going? Stop boggling the joint. Okay, hang on. You know we're not on the other channel, eh, Stephen? Oh, good, 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 good. You did send me one. I would send to connect what I send to Connected Hearts. Yes, yes. Bev, you could make a Christmas paper wrap fan. Let me think about that. Let me think about that. I have foil paper too. I have popsicle sticks. You know what? Let's just wait and see. Um, Oklahoma, where the la 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 la. How's it going, Barbie? Need prayers. Everyone's screaming, whining, fighting. I'm not doing well. Hub has symptoms of what? I'm so tired. Feed them pasta. Feed them pasta. They'll have a sugar rush, like and then they'll calm down. Feed them pasta, like a high starch pasta, and that will actually help them calm down. Hey, Sue Marie, how's it going? Suburban Hillbilly Bourbon! My garden is still doing good, being tortured by a feral kitten determined to live with us. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You're so old school. Love it. Who's old school? Who's old school? He has COVID symptoms. So you guys are in quarantine then right now. Just watch the last 20 minutes of Chitty Chitty. Chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, we love you. I can't watch that movie. I watched it so much as a kid. Today I cut back all my garden celery, blanched and in the dehydrator. Good for you. What? Old school? What do you mean old school? There's only one person who could ever call me a broad, and that was in high school, Nipper Knight. His name was Mr. Knight. I called him the Nipper, and he we were doing a thing in law class. He was doing a presentation, and he was saying, there's this broad. And I went, whoa, 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 back up the truck there, Nipper Knight. Do you know what a broad is? He said, he's like a deer in the headlights. I said, it's a pregnant cow. Rephrase, please. So he signed my yearbook to the best broad I ever knew, Nipper Knight. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you're under quarantine. Well, you know what? Journal, breathe, work in solution, and deal with the things you have control over, not the things you don't. Okay? Okay, sweetheart? Please breathe, pray, list, journal, strike the things off you got no control over, and deal with the list of the things you can. What's for dinner? Pork chops. I was going to make with apples and onions, but Howie's not fussy on it. I love fried apples and onions. So I said, well, then I'll make smothered pork chops. And he goes, okay. It's like, oh, for grape's sake. So guess what? It's Annie's mac and cheese, green beans, and fried pork chops. Done. Supper. That's what's for supper. Hi, Angela McLeod. Giving up my sewing room. Husband has to have an office because of work from home is permanent. Oh, This is my office, but I'm going to have one built for sure. I don't belong to Facebook. Can I still send you a Christmas card? Avon Leanne, email me at Connected Hearts Family, all one word, Connected Hearts Family at gmail.com. Qualify by telling me who you are and how you know me, okay? And I will send you my email address. But please don't ask anybody else for my mailing address because they're not allowed to give it to you. It's my address, and I choose who I share it with, okay? Hamburger pea gravy over mashed potatoes? Ho, ho, ho. I think it's the hat. Making a beef meat pie. Oh, Stephen, talk dirty to me. Oh, I would like a nice hamburger gravy and onion meat pie and a buttery flaky crust, and then I'd eat it cold. I'd let it all gel inside. Oh, frig, I gotta make a meat pie. You know what, I'm gonna make a meat pie. I could probably make a meat pie with my canned ground beef. Leftover vegetable soup and cornbread. I'm trying homemade tomato soup out of my roasted tomatoes I did this summer. Oh, that's going to be bloody delicious. You're welcome, Avon Leanne. Thank you. It's actually a little headband. And I think if I wear it on the left, it means I'm single. And then if I wear it on the right, it means I'm taken. And you don't wear, and it doesn't matter what side you wear a yellow ribbon on. If you're wearing a yellow ribbon, it's for a guy. I just made your hubby blush. How? What did I say? Did I say something inappropriate? We're having wilted cabbage with chicken apple sausage. That sounds good. Yeah, I love meat pies. When I go to Germany, I'm going to eat wild stew goulash from Boer on cordon bleu from, oh, that sounds so good. Minced beef and onion pie or steak pie sounds yummy. I think I'm going to make one. Now, do you need a video? I'm getting hungry too. I haven't eaten since, what did I have for breakfast? I had porridge this morning. So, okay, talking about food in a lusty way. Was I talking in a lusty way? Okay, I did say talk dirty to me, didn't I? Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. I have one of those cheap steaks left. So I should make a steak, but no kidneys. Mama B, hey! Went to the butcher today to order a quarter of a cow for the freezer. Saw brisket sausages. Had to get some for dinner. Fried potatoes and baked beans. Oh, maybe it's my medication, but I'm getting really hungry. Well, it is 4:00. Well, of course I am. But at least I'm a hussy for only one man, and that's my hubby Howard. I had rabbit burgundy sauce with knödel, that's potato balls. Wow. That sounds delicious. You guys are killing me, man. I'm making something for tomorrow's video right now. And okay, I got lost here for a second. I just got lost. Homemade chili. I love rabbit too. Especially when you lay strips of bacon over the rabbit. If you're roasting it, always put like salt pork or bacon over the rabbit because it's dry. It's like white meat. It's like boneless, skinless chicken. Okay? And if you're roasting it, you want it to be moist and juicy. Boring old, hey, nothing boring about leftovers. You can make a leftover makeover meal. Take your leftovers and make something new with them. What do you got? Let's just make something. Tell me what you got for leftovers, Avonlea. Let's do this live. I call that a food coma. That's a food coma? Thank you, darling. Thank you. I see. Hi, Martina. I'm just in time for food porn. Well, apparently, I'm getting quite lusty about the food discussions here. So, Anne, okay. My leftovers are left over from a leftover meal. Tell me what they are. I'm not kidding you. I can make anything out of leftovers. You should get Howie to take you to Wesley Clover Park to see the lights, Bev. Now, where is that, Cindy? Is that in Ottawa? Because we want to do the one where you drive through when Nan comes. Because what do you give Nan for Christmas? I don't want anything. So I want to do her hair for her, like wash her hair and curl it for a change. And then, gonna go to coat lacquer on it. And we want to take her out and see all the lights in downtown Ottawa. It's turkey soup. That's it? My leftovers are leftover from a left. Okay. Take your turkey soup. All right. Make a pie crust. Strain your soup so that you have the broth. Thicken it into a gravy. Saute up some vegetables like some carrots and celery and onion. Give it a quick saute. Pour that plus the stuff you strained into the pie shell. Cover it with the turkey gravy. Crimp the edges. Egg wash it and make a turkey pie. Told you I could remake it. Any ideas for pork chops? Okay, well, if you like, green apples and onions. What you do is you fry your pork chops till they're almost completely done. Fry them in butter now. Fry them in butter, and then take your pork chops out. And you can peel and slice and core them, but I like to just cut the apple in slices of rings and cut out the center, and then throw them into the butter with rings of onion, a little bit of salt and pepper, and a tablespoon of brown sugar, and all that butter, and it makes like a caramelized sauce. And then you put your cooked. Sorry, I said cook it. Make sure your pork chop is cooked. Excuse me. Put your cooked pork chop on the plate and then smother it in the apples and onions. I tell you. Okay, that's one. Butter makes everything better. I know. I'm with Julia Child on that one. Just had 2 canning lid failures with Chinese canning lids. Never again. The only failure I've had, touch wood, so far this year was a Bernardin lid failure with my chicken and broth. And you don't have to buy shake and bake. Oh, you can do schnitzel too. Now, I've never made schnitzel, but I'm pretty sure schnitzel is you take a boneless pork chop and you hammer the crap out of it until it's nice and thin. And then you make an egg wash and you soak it in the egg. You flour it. You flour the chop, then egg wash it, then roll it in seasoned breadcrumbs and fry it in lots of oil. Schnitzel. Did I do it right, Stephen? I have Wed jars and make a crust boom pot pie. What is that? Wed jars, I have some, but I think the little snaps on them and are really hard to keep in a safe place because they're so small. And then there's the fact that the lids are glass and they're really difficult to store. But other than that, they're great. Ahmad, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear sweet Ahmad. Happy birthday to you and many more. Mwah! There you go. Bev, do you like me to send you some Yorkshire tea, Builder's tea? Or do you have it? I don't have any of that. What's builder's tea? It's the really strong stuff, right? Hey, Annie, seasoned cornflakes are also good for pork chops. So, what else? I sometimes omit the flour. Don't want that much crust. Just egg, wash, and the breadcrumbs. Well, there you go. So did I do it right? Did I tell you right about the schnitzel? You're welcome, Ahmad. Happy birthday, dear. Empty Nester, how are you? So maybe I'll make a schnitzel. I'm gonna make schnitzel. What do you eat with schnitzel? Do you need any dippers or anything for that? Oh, I don't have any breadcrumbs. Like I have breadcrumbs, but oh, I have cornflakes. Oh, I'm gonna make cornflake schnitzel tonight. Um. Oh, well, good, Autumn Gypsy. Thank you. Schnitzel starts as a big block of meat beaten to a sheet. Okay. Taters or homemade fries. I actually have a bag of, I think, of tater tots in my freezer. I've probably had them there for 6 months. We don't eat. I forget. I buy stuff like that sometimes, and I forget it's there because I so seldom use it. Green beans and onions. Mashed taters and okay. Schnitzel sounds like liquor. No, that's what's the stuff the Russians drink? Not just the vodka. Schnapps. Oh, I used to like schnapps. I had a thing for fuzzy navels. Sliced potatoes cooked in butter with chopped onion. I'm already beating the crap out of pork. I want to make everything else easy. Schnapps, that's it. I remember this is how we know that we're alcoholics, or how Howie knows he has a physical allergy to alcohol. We were 6 months sober. Yeah, 6 months sober. And Howie went into work one day and someone had brought in mint Nanaimo bars. And you know you don't cook Nanaimo bars, right? So Howie grabbed one, like somebody brought in a goodie tray, and Howie grabbed one of the mint Nanaimo bars. And as he was going back to work, he said he bit into it, and immediately, as soon as it spread across his tongue, his nose started to itch, and his ears started to burn, and his face went with heat. And he didn't bite it back. He went right back into the office and he said, "Is there alcohol in these?" And she went, "Oh, Howie, I'm so sorry. I got peppermint schnapps in there." And then he phoned me and said, "Am I still sober?" And I said, "Did you take a second bite, or did you continue to eat it after you knew there was alcohol in it?" And he said, "No." I said, "Then no, you're still sober, honey." That's what I call a slip. When people say, "Oh, I had a slip," they went out drinking, they call it a slip. It's not a slip unless it's an accident. Slip is an accident. Going out drinking is a choice, right? Buttered noodles with, I don't have any poppy seeds. Peach schnapps is the only liquor I like the taste of. Well, I was a whiskey girl in the end, and I don't want to talk anymore about alcohol, okay? This is a really bad time of year, especially since they started putting liquor commercials on TV. That used to be illegal, eh? Cigarettes and hard liquor, not wine or beer. You could put beer commercials, but cigarettes and liquor could only be on billboards and in magazines. They couldn't be on social media, like they couldn't be on TV. Can you make a chicken bake like Costco? Dough rolled in chicken and broccoli. I have no idea what that is, Annie. I have no idea what that is. Thank you, Barbie. That's just my personal opinion. Okay. I mean, that's my personal opinion. Like someone said, "Oh, well, I had a slip again. because I knew someone who was sober for 9 years, went back out drinking and couldn't get sober, no matter how hard they tried. And they said, I was sober for 9 years. I don't understand why it's so hard. And I said, the sobriety you had for 9 years may have been good, but it wasn't good enough because you went back out. No, I slipped. I said, you got off a bus at a pub. You were on a bus and you got off and you walked into the bar and you ordered a drink. That's not a slip. That's a choice. I love homemade eggnog. I do love homemade eggnog. Arthur makes it so thick. It's ridiculous. I like it lighter. And I put in rum flavoring, right? But that's as close as I get. Homemade French fries baked in the oven are good. Really? I've never done them in the oven. There is a difference also in a dry drunk and someone in sobriety. Well, someone in sobriety, I haven't been to a meeting, guys, in like 2 years. Okay? I haven't been to a meeting in 2 years. But the thing is I am sober. I'm not a dry drunk that I'm aware of. I am sober. I still work my steps. I still journal. I still talk to AA members, right? I don't necessarily go to meetings on Zoom. I went to meetings on a regular basis and worked through the entire 12 steps of AA with a group of women over like a 28-week period. We worked through all the steps. So it's not that I feel above the meetings, because I still like them now and again. A, we're in the middle of a pandemic, and B, I just like to go now and again to get my fill. But I mean, I work really hard with my program. 23 years sober, one day at a time. Enough of the food, drink, chat, please. Drooling all over my phone. You do have a support group here? Absolutely, Ribby. Absolutely. The Patricias are here. Where is our Patricia Furia? Bev, have you ever been to Founders Day in Akron, Ohio? No. But there's a picture. No. But the last time Howie and I were in Ohio, we went to Akron and we visited Dr. Bob's house. And we asked the man to take our picture. And my friend, my sister Doris Mayer, actually got a 100-year-old ironing board and put that picture that was taken of us in Dr. Bob's house on the ironing board with a poem beneath it, saying, I've met the person who my soul loves, or something along those lines. So what is a dry drunk? Oh, that's a good question, Stephen. A dry drunk is somebody who quits drinking but doesn't get help. I know many people like that. People, who don't get help, period. A dry drunk is somebody who doesn't work a program. It's like they're always white knuckling it. They would rather do it alone without support. That's a dry drunk. A dry drunk, you can have somebody in meetings who's had 20 years of sobriety, and they could still be a dry drunk if all they did was work the first 3 steps and then felt content with that. But there's 12 steps for a reason. I mean, seriously, God gave the world the 10 commandments, but alcoholics are broken. We need 12 steps. You know what I mean? Oh, she's doing paperwork. Okay. I was born in St. Thomas Hospital, where the very first meeting took place. Wow, really? A dry drunk, that's a very good, yes, that's another good one, Patricia. A dry drunk still does all the things that led him to be a drunk. Yeah, you just quit, don't change the behaviors. Thank you for giving me words for that. All 12 steps are important to work with through things. So, all right, CFF, take care, sweetheart. We love you. So anyway, I'm going to make schnitzel tonight. Any recommended seasonings for the cornflakes? I know a guy that goes to 7 meetings a week throughout his county in America. He is so scared that he will go back that he has no life. But on the other hand, he smokes like a chimney. And how sober is he? Do you know? Like, how long has he been sober? Because the thing is if you are really, 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 white knuckling it sober and you're going to meetings, you might want to do 90 meetings in 90 days if you're, what we call a hard bottom drunk. Okay? A low bottom drunk. He may want to do 90 meetings in 90 days. And he could be faking it until he makes it. But the point is he keeps going. And sooner or later, it gets you if you keep an open mind. It gets you, right? Parsley, Parmesan, and paprika. Ooh, that sounds good. My boyfriend needs to go to rehab. What is a good program for him to go to? Well, what's his go to meetings, get a sponsor. Do you know I still have a sponsor? She go every once in a while. I'll phone her about 2-3 times a year and she'll go, "Hey, stranger, am I still your sponsor?" He does a 28-month, 10 years stopped. You mean 28 day? 28 a month. Alcohol. You know what? I am a firm believer in going into a detox center first, like an emergency detox center, like in downtown Ottawa, and then go into rehab, because rehab can be really hard if you haven't detoxed. I made a shortbread with parm and rosemary. Roll it out really thin. It's super yummy. Really? Shortbread with parmesan and rosemary, and that's with sugar? That's like way outside of my comfort zone. I rehabbed for 30 days. Well, I remember Howie and I, running the occasional meeting in the rehab center, in some rehab centers. We've been to, jail, like not jail, but I've gone in and worked in meetings in jail. And so has Howard. We've gone to places where young kids, like young teenagers are addicted to alcohol, and, we try and raise the bottom for them. But I mean, it's been a long time. It's been a long time since we did any of that work. But I like to think that I share the program every day. And it's not just for people who are alcoholics. All right? Anybody can benefit from the tools that you learned in a 12-step program, right? Like journaling, like making lists, and that, about all the things that are driving you nuts, and striking off the ones you have no control over, and then having the physical feeling of striking those off, and shortening your list, and then dealing with the list of the things you do have some power over, right? Oh, a lot. Are you kidding? Howie's uncles had a bet going that he would be dead by 21. Howie was a drunk at age 11. And from the first time he got drunk and he got high, he was raiding pills, everything. He says he doesn't remember much of his childhood. Why? Because he was wasted from the age of 11 to the age of 30. Right? Yeah, 30. So now, if you add 10 years of the first 10 years of his life and the 23 years of sobriety, He's now been sober longer, more than half of his life. He's been sober more than half of his life. If you call being a kid not drinking sober. But I don't know. You know what? He'd never been sober because his parents would go up to their aunts and his dad's aunt and uncles in the middle, way up in Bancroft, Steenburgen Lake and all that stuff. And they would, this is real rustic, no power, no privy, no running water kind of place, but it's, people live there. And and his Auntie Joe, which is his great aunt, was his great Aunt Joe, would put a little bit of brandy in his bottle, in any baby's bottle, to help them sleep while they played cards. So I honestly, and his mother would give them as a dessert ice cream with creme de menthe over it. I don't think Howard was ever sober, if you think about it. Yeah, it is absolutely, truly something to be thankful for. So yeah, I'm not going to count the first 10 years of his life. But Howie is 53 and he has been sober for 23 years. So, I mean, and that's huge. It really is. Well, we're sober 2 days apart. I'm 23 years sober also. And I had a lot of AA members say, you're not sober because you smoke marijuana. I said, I don't smoke marijuana recreationally. I smoke marijuana medicinally. There is a difference. Are you going to tell me if I was a diabetic that I'm not sober if I have to take insulin? No, right? So, and I do smoke recreationally on Freaky Friday. But the truth of the matter is I smoke medicinally, okay? And it's not an addiction issue for me. Yeah, I'll get grumpy if I have to go a few days without marijuana, but guess what? That's because I'll be in friggin' pain. And I'll be having to rely on Tylenol and crap. So yeah, who wouldn't be grumpy? Yeah. Wow, are you 53, Stephen? We just sang happy birthday to you not long ago. Christmas Day, you were clean 8 years. Wow, that's wonderful, darling. Tell them folks to mind their own business about, well, this is the thing, okay? Like I had one who I used to sponsor, and I stopped in to visit her, and she said, no, that's where you're wrong. She said, a drug is a drug is a drug, and you're not sober if you're smoking pot. And I looked at her very carefully, and I said, sweetheart, pot may be an issue for you, but it is not an addiction issue for me. It never has been. Okay? So you can't tell me what I am and am not addicted to. It's just the way of life. And she went, you're right, Mama. You're right. I'm sorry. I said, it's not an addiction issue for me. So you can't say that. It would be like me telling you, someone telling somebody, oh man, you're an alcoholic. Right? No, I'd never tell anybody they're an alcoholic. That's not my call. But I can help them figure it out. If I think they are, I can help them find out if they are, right? Yes, I'm still taking the moringa. Just got a new supply in. 1 every day. I don't take 3 a day like it says, but I take 1 every day. Read my comment. And if it was a really long comment, Annie, it may have been, I want to cry. Why do you want to cry? I am in my 14th year of being clean and sober. Hey, saltwater hippie, how's it going? Howie will be 54 on March 1st. Is there a time frame for moringa to work? Here's Patricia Johnny Carson. Hey, all sorry I'm late. No, I don't know. And it doesn't work for everybody. I'm sorry, guys, my tailbone hurts. It doesn't work for everybody. I just noticed an improvement since I started taking moringa and calcium magnesium with D3. I'm finding an improvement. So I mean, and it's not something really, really dramatic. I'm just noticing I'm not using my walker as much. Oh, hell, I'm not using it at all. Okay. I'm sleeping better because I'm more comfortable. You know what I mean? All these things make a difference. Would I sponsor someone? Oh, man, that's a big question. That's a big question because I don't go to enough meetings, right? But I could help somebody if they wanted me to like be a pen pal kind of sponsor. Then, but I'm a bitch, guys. Let me tell you this. I am a pit bull. I am 23 years sober for a reason. Okay. Because my sponsor was a pit bull, still is. We used to call her the original pit bull with lipstick. So, you take collagen powder, really? But if you wanted to talk to me about alcoholism, if you wanted to talk to find out whether you think you're an alcoholic or anything like that, email me at connectedheartsfamily@gmail.com and put it in the subject line. Can I ask you about alcohol or alcoholism? I am not. I am not a therapist. I am not a doctor. I am not a professional addictions counselor. I only have my experience and my strength and my hope to share. That's it. Don't ask for miracles from this old broad. Yeah, Nipper. I hope he's still alive. Empty nester homestead. How do I get my brother to stop drinking? You don't. You go to Al-Anon. Okay? You can't stop somebody. Now let me make this very clear. When I ran away from Howie the second time, okay, it was over alcohol. Okay? And because I had booted him out in the first year we were together because of alcohol, because remember there's the story, or he came home drunk. He went out for lunch from work and didn't go back, and some stranger brought him home, and the next day he said, "I can't believe you didn't lose your shit." And I said, that's your only pass. Ever happens again, it's done. You don't get to leave your work at lunch hour and drink away the rest of the day. Drink away your paycheck. Okay? Not going to happen. And it happened again and again. And then one day, on a Friday, I was sitting there drinking a whiskey and Coke. And I said to Howard, I'm sitting there sipping it going, this shit's gotta go. It's killing us. And I meant because I was calm, but I was also a binge drinker. I didn't always get shitty ass, pissy ass drunk whenever I drank. That's what made it so hard for me to say I was an alcoholic, because there were times I had no problem with alcohol. But whenever I picked it up, I did not know whether I was going to put it back down or not, whether I was going to be able to have two drinks and put it in the cupboard, or have two drinks and wake up coming out of a blackout with my kids in the car and driving down the highway drunk. Okay? So, you can't tell someone, you can't. So when in the beginning, Howie got comfortable with the fact that he did contracts, he wrote out contracts and signed them and all these things to agree to me not leaving. Okay? And he kept breaking them because alcoholism is a disease. It's not something if alcoholism is not in everybody, and alcoholism is a disease. One drink is too many and 1,000 is never enough. Okay? And it's insidious. All right? It supports you and makes you witty and funny and able to feel comfortable in public places and all that stuff until it stops being your best friend and becomes your slave owner. Your slave master. Okay? Simple as that. So we had done contracts. He, signed things saying he wouldn't drink, and if he did, I had the right to leave him, and blah blah. All these things he could not do. But all that does is make him resent me for forcing him to give up his best friend. You can't force somebody to quit drinking against their will. Will is a very powerful thing. And most alcoholics have a very strong will. People have a tendency to believe that if you only just had willpower, you could stop drinking. I'm sorry, most alcoholics have the strongest wills I have ever seen. Okay? It's not will, power of will, it's the power of surrender. Right? So I was sitting there sipping my whiskey and Coke and said, this has got to go, Howard. And he was shit-faced. I said, this has got to go. And he said, I've been drinking all my effing life. You don't like it. There's the door. And I went, okay. All right. So I don't know when I left after that, but it was a short time after, within a couple of weeks. We went to Peterborough to pick up Arthur because he had gone to go fishing with friends of ours for the day. And of course, because I was the designated driver, Howie felt comfortable getting drunk. And when we got, I don't know what happened, but I had taken a sip of Wild Berry Cooler. That's why I had to change my sobriety date to the 2nd of June, not the 1st of June. And I don't know what was going on, but we're almost home. We're coming around the bend of home, and all of a sudden, Howie and I started fighting. Fighting with the most foul language that two people who are supposed to love each other can fling at each other. And when we paused, I looked in the rearview mirror and I saw my kids in the back seat. Eyes like this, kind of clinging to each other. Not like clinging to each other, but like kind of huddled together with huge eyes, because their parents just went insane right in front of their eyes. I left that night. I got my sister to come and get me. And when Howard, now I'm telling you, I'm sharing this with you to make a point about you can't make somebody else sober up. He almost lost his job because I accidentally took both sets of keys with me, and he had to bust the ignition to get to work because his boss said, Howie, you don't show up, because he phoned to say my wife left me, and his boss said, if you don't show up, you're fired. So he broke the ignition and went to work, but he phoned me after work on Monday. And he said, I'll do anything. I'll quit drinking. I'll go to AA. And I said, that's awesome, Howie. You do that. But I got to do this for me. Okay? You can't get sober for me. You got to get sober because that's what you want and need to do. I have to get sober because this is what I want and need to do. And we're not healthy together right now. So he said, so you're not coming home? I said, no. And he said, ever? And now for a split second, now your thoughts aren't timed. The way your brain processes thoughts you can have a whole dialogue in an instant in your brain. When he said forever, part of me wanted to say, well, if you promise to go to AA, if you do this, if you do that, if you do this, if you do that. And then I went, no, we've done all that. So when he said forever, he said ever, I said no. Because if I had given him any hope of me coming home, he would have hung his sobriety on that hope. And I couldn't let him do that. I was home 6 weeks later. But it wasn't until I felt that we were both going to AA or going, excuse me, we're both in recovery for ourselves, not for each other. Has to be, you have to have had enough. I have glaucoma. Right eye is close to blind. I had a torn retina fix yesterday, but it still cannot see well. Well, honey, Annie, stop trying. Relax. Give it time to heal, baby. You push it, you're going to do damage, okay? I'm not a wise lady, Paula. By no stretch of the imagination. This is why I say, don't put me on a pedestal. All right? The fall is far and my bones are brittle and I will fall. Please don't put me on a pedestal. Please don't. I am just a human being trying to live on this learning curve of life so that when I die and I wake up with all the answers, I don't got to come back here. I don't want to come back here again. My mom and aunt were alcoholics. Mom quit before I was old enough to remember. My aunt was a mean drunk. She drank till a year before she died of pneumonia from smoking. Oh, God. Yeah, I know some mean drunks. Yeah. Most of my family is alcoholic. I'm grateful I am not. But you know what? It would benefit you to go to Al-Anon or to get into some Al-Anon literature. Because if your family is alcoholics, alcoholism is a disease that kills people that don't even have it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Alcoholism in one person doesn't just affect the one person. It affects absolutely everybody in that person's immediate life, in their outer circle, and total strangers on the friggin' street. Alcoholism is a disease that hurts people who don't even have it. One alcoholic can destroy a lot of lives, right? Go to Al-Anon. Get some Al-Anon literature. It will help you empower yourself how to deal with an alcoholic so the shit doesn't hit you when it flies. Does that make sense? Oh, thank you, Paula. Thank you. I hope so. So I'm actually feeling really uncomfortable talking about this because I was raised with anonymity. And I am not the face of 12-step program. I am not the face of alcoholism and sobriety. I am just me sharing my experience, strength, and hope. You got that, right? Because I'm just as flawed, or if not more so, than every other person on the planet. Nobody's perfect except God. When you're put on a pedestal, it's chilly up there. It blew my skirt. I am here. Make a pie crust for that meat pie. Okay, Stephen, it's break time. If you'll notice, the swelling is starting to go down in my wrist. Remember when I had it? It's still sore, but it was quite, I can't get how you can see that there. It was quite puffy yesterday. It was a little bit higher up. It was more of a ball here, but it's doing much better. We are all perfectly imperfect. Absolutely. Thank you. Your words are very helpful. It gives me peace of mind. Well, if you know someone in your family who's an alcoholic and it's impacting your life, go to Al-Anon. Look up Al-Anon online. Do a Zoom meeting. Mem shows if you feel like you have a problem with alcohol. Except for Sam Shepard. Okay, wait a second. I missed something there. Hey, Les! Better late than never. Sam Shepard. Nobody's perfect, honey. And remember, actors are just people. They're just people. Yes, they if they're successful and they do it for most of their lives, they live in a world of make-believe, and that has a tendency to color their lives a little bit on the extravagant side. But you know what? Actors are just people too. How long did it take to dehydrate the bone broth? 24, 36 hours? Try about 3 days. Um, yeah, I know, sweetheart. Hey, saltwater hippie, Dimabath. Dimabath? Your life is much like a lot of ours. Enjoy your logic and clear vision. Well, sweetheart, I'm just a person just like you, right? Now listen, it's 4:45. And that means Papa is on his way home, and I've not turned on the outside Christmas lights to greet him. I haven't pounded the piss out of that schnitzel chop. So I'm going to go do that right now. Um, but for all those who care to, please help me close. I keep wanting to say the responsibility pledge because it's an AA thing. Please help me close. Yes, you can dehydrate bone broth. Please, please, somebody give her a video. Give her a video on how to make broth powder. I have 2 of them. You just remember, Doris, make a list. Strike the things off that you have no control over and focus on the things you do have control over. It A, lets you feel more in control about the things you have no control over because you're throwing them away. B, it gives you something positive to focus on because you're uplifting yourself by working in solution. Okay? And journal. Journal, no matter how stupid it sounds. You're not writing a book for somebody else to read. You're just gutting yourself and pouring the emotion onto the pages to get it out, right? Put a teaspoon of oil in your egg wash. Helps crusts stay on better. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Bev, you always turn my day around. Thank you, Stacy. May you be blessed always. I always have been. I'm still here, aren't I? Every day I get out of bed and stand up under my own steam. Well, let's put it this way. My dad used to say, every day above ground is a good day. All right, for all those who care to, please help me close with a bit of spiritual nourishment. This is non-denominational. If you have a faith, you insert your faith where it fits and ignore what doesn't, okay? Let us celebrate the things we have in common, not the things that separate us by religion, all right? So, let go and let God, absolutely. So, big deep breath. Hey, God, it's us. And once again, God, I get more help from my YouTube family than I can ever possibly hope to give back. Thank you for blessing me with a YouTube family, God. They do so much to uplift me every single day, as well as my regular family and all that. But my YouTube family and I, we have a special relationship, God. And I thank you for bringing us together. And look after all our friends and look after our YouTube family, God. There's people that are in quarantine and stressing with small children, and there are people who are ill, or there are people who are alone. There are people who are frustrated. God, just please pour your love all over these people. They so need to feel the balm of hope and love from their maker. But God, that's not just us. All right, God, there's a whole lot of people in the world that need you and don't even know it. So God, please just help us to link hearts and link hands and be examples of your peace and your light and your love and your patience and your tolerance. Let us be examples as we link hearts and link hands and shine from your love. Because when we shine, we push back at the darkness. And the more we push back at the darkness, the brighter it is for everybody. So thank you, God. Thank you. Amen. Namaste. Shalom. Peace be with you. Merry meet. Blessed be. Miigwech. Whatever. I'm not being disrespectful. Whatever your salutation is to the higher power of your understanding, let it be said with love and let it be said with confidence that you are being heard. Okay? Because remember, half of life, 90% of life is just showing up and doing the do things. All right? Take care. God bless. And if we're lucky, I might be able to do a live stream tomorrow, but there will not be one on Friday because Briar and I are going shopping. All right? And of course, if there's Freaky Friday, it will be Friday night. All right? Take care. God bless. I love you all. Don't ever forget that. We are all worth loving, and we all deserve to be wanted, needed, and loved.